and welcome to our next chapter, where we'll be looking at phase equilibria. And I just also want to talk real quick as we start this chapter about what the plan is for the next few chapters that we'll be looking at in chemical thermodynamics. So up to this point, we have looked at the laws of thermodynamics, right? So we have our three laws, looking at energy, heat, and work for the first law. For the second law, looking at entropy and increasing in entropy, what defines a spontaneous process. And then the third law defining what zero entropy is equal to. And then we have also introduced the idea of the Gibbs energy and Helmholtz energy, which help us to determine spontaneity under given conditions of constant temperature and volume for the Helmholtz energy, or constant temperature and pressure for the Gibbs energy. For the next few chapters, for about the next month or so in the class, we will be looking at specifically how do we apply these laws of thermodynamics and particularly the Gibbs energy to different types of systems that we're interested in chemistry. So our first chapter, this chapter, chapter 23 in your textbook, is phase equilibria, and this is looking at what's the thermodynamics of a single substance, of a pure substance. Right, so this will be looking at phase diagrams and changes between something that's, pure water or pure benzene or whatever. The next chapter, chapter 24, we're going to be looking at mixtures of liquids. So if we have, say, two organic solvents mixed together, what properties does that have? How could we separate different mixtures of liquids through things like distillation? And that'll be the next chapter. The chapter after that is looking at dissolving things in liquids. So I write that as solid liquid solutions, mostly thinking about aqueous solutions and what happens as we dissolve that and what are the thermodynamics that govern that. And then finally in chapter 26, we will be looking at reactions. So that's, one of the most important things in chemistry is understanding reactions and thermodynamics of reactions. And this is where we'll get to the idea of equilibrium. So that's just an introduction as to where we're going. We're applying the tools that we've developed up to this point to specific types of systems, and we'll be looking at examples of how we can apply these to particular systems. So again, for this set of videos, we'll be looking at the thermodynamics of a pure substance and thinking about how can we look at pure substances. And so starting in the next video, we'll look at phase diagrams, which you've probably already seen before, but just going into a little bit more detail on that and what exactly they represent.